So, today, what I want to share with you is this idea of creating a mini offer in your business. And I'm going to share also how this can work with you if you are in direct sales. But this is really important, especially in like the era that we live in today for many reasons. Number one, we have been in an era of distrust for some time. And if you've ever been in any of my workshops, I talk about this. I talk about why video is so important because of this, because it's the fastest way that you really can capture someone's attention and get them to know, like, and trust you because they see your face, they see that you're a real person, they can connect with you on a more human level, right? But a mini offer, also known as a tiny offer, a low ticket offer, these work really well nowadays as well because they're, smaller investment to get a lead to want to consider to work with you in some capacity, but maybe they're just not ready to take like a deep dive into, let's even say if you sell physical products, direct sales, maybe they're not ready to dive into like the big package, right? That you're selling, or maybe they're not ready to dive into a full like hands-on mastermind program. Okay. If you're a coach or a consultant, right? That doesn't mean that they're not ready to work with you at all. We just need to understand like what's happening around us right now in this world, right? And things are a lot different than they were prior to COVID. And then when COVID came, we were just stuck at home and we were consuming so much information. And honestly, we were also investing a lot on information, right? People no longer just want information. And so it's going to take understanding this and understanding how to create an offer that moves people through the know, like, and trust journey through that experience for them to finally say yes to something bigger. Okay. So what we want to do, and this is what I call a revenue catalyst offer, which is a miniature offer, right? It's very intentional. It's low ticket. It's more like entry level, but it's got to do two critical things. Okay. It needs to give your clients a fast win, right? So it's got to give them a fast win that builds confidence in the process that you're moving them through without them feeling like it's information overload. And it also needs to move them closer to saying yes to a higher transformational offer. Okay. So let's talk first about like, why is this so important? We are in this era of distrust. And so there's this like buyer skepticism that we need to really get people over when it comes to our own offers, right? So you want to make sure that you differentiate this from a freebie or something that is traditionally low ticket. All right. So low ticket can be considered like something that's like $7, $27, even like $47, right? That's really low ticket. We don't necessarily want this to be something that people download for $27, right? It needs to have more beef to it, more context to it, more transformation to it, but a small win, not a huge win. Okay. Nowadays and moving forward for a bit, people are still going to be cautious buyers, right? Also because of the economy. They're burnt out by all this hype online. There was a lot of online hype, especially with coaches and consultants through the last, like 4 years or so. A lot of people got burned on programs that they invested in. And so this is your way to stand out by giving transformation with delivering more of an experience of the value that they're getting, right? This is a great way to move people forward without like the big pressure of jumping into a higher ticket program or package that you're selling. So we need to understand that psychology. Okay. People want small wins in order to then move to those bigger transformations because they need to feel comfortable with you first. All right. Make sense? What we want to do is not sell something that we're just selling because we saw somebody else selling this and we think it's going to work, like a random $27 PDF, right? This is not a mini course that's just going to collect dust either. So we don't want that to be that. And this is not like a tripwire in your funnel. Okay. And what that means is like, for those of you that sell like online courses or digital courses, you could sell something for, let's say, $27. And then once the person makes that purchase, it then sends them to purchase something else. That's not what this is. Okay. This is a very intentional experience that gives people a real win. It's going to create momentum for them and it's going to move them naturally naturally through a higher premium service. I'm going to give you a really easy example. Our Vault program is just that. That is my catalyst momentum offer, my revenue catalyst offer. It is the Vault program. It's a Kickstarter mastermind program. It's literally $6.50 a day. Comes out to about $197 a month. Your first month is $97 a month. There's no contract, no commitment, but it is a Kickstarter way for you to start to really get an understanding of how to market yourself effectively and efficiently, and still get live support from myself and my team without depending on recorded courses or recorded information, right? So it's a live mastermind at a very low investment, but you're still getting the wins, not at the same pace as if you're like in one of our other programs. It's more high touch. We meet more often, right? But we still meet and you still get my feedback and my live support. And so I want you to start thinking about your revenue catalyst offers as something like this. And I'm going to give you some ideas also of pricing. Okay. So the first part is the psychology of today's buyer, all right, which I've already discussed, but basically is we don't want them to be disappointed, okay? So remember that people are skeptical, even with freebies. People are sick of just like constant freebies. Now, I'm not saying don't do a freebie, but your freebie should have tremendous value even. So like one of my lead magnets, which is one of our freebies, and many of you have come into this free group from it, is my video GPT prompt, which is like magical, right? I really should charge for it, but I haven't charged for it. It's a lead magnet. I even run ads to it. And it's a great way for somebody to get a win. And the win is literally this thing writes your short form video scripts and your long form video scripts for you with a formula that we use that's been proven to work to get clients from and leads from. And it's a no brainer. Like you don't have to think about what to say on video when you use this thing, right? So that is the win that people are getting. The win is that now they know what to say on video and they're going to be more confident showing up on video. And then it brings you inside of this group if you need support, right? So that is my freebies. So I don't want you guys to get rid of any freebies. And I'm not suggesting that. I'm just suggesting that moving forward, your freebies need to actually have some real value and support to them as well. And that's going to make this mini revenue catalyst offer even better. Because if you give a freebie that people are like, holy smokes, if she gives this away for free, I can only imagine what it's like working with her, right? So know that you can still do freebies, lead magnets, but your revenue catalyst offer is not going to be a glorified freebie, right? It's not going to be a watered down version of your bigger offer either. And it shouldn't be something random and disconnected from your bigger offer. Okay. So that's part 2. All right. A revenue catalyst offer, what that is it's designed to solve a specific micro problem. It's built to deliver a tangible win. It's aligned with your premium offer, and it's like a no-brainer. Okay, so once again, let me go back to our vault. The micro problem that this solves for people that come into the vault is understanding online marketing. That is the micro problem. Most people jump into online marketing and have no clue what they're doing, right? Because you think, oh, if I post, everyone's going to see it, right? And that's just not how it works. If I just open up a social media profile, everyone's going to know exactly what it is that I do and how I help them. No, you have to start with your positioning, right? So in the vault, we start with your positioning. What's your visibility like? How are you positioning yourself? And then we move into content creation. And I teach you how to create content in a way that is working smarter, not harder. And then I teach you how to generate leads from your content, right? And then what do you do with those leads? How do you move them into the next step? So I'm teaching you and I'm walking you through and actually supporting you live on the spot during our calls and 24/7 inside of a private group, how to really refine and build all these systems. That is what the vault is about. Now, many people move from the vault to the next tier of our mastermind, which is our society. Why? Because now that they've built like the foundations, they want more hand-holding support. And this is where we meet more often, right? And so that offer goes up though in investment. Okay. So for example, our vault is only $197 a month, $97 your first month, no commitment, no contract. And then when you've got all of the foundations built, or even if you don't have them built yet, but you want to move at a faster pace and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm ready to step it up. Then you can decide to go into the society program where we meet more often and you have more of that support. from society, many people move into a private agency client where we're doing all of their marketing for them, but they're still getting consulting from me or from our higher level mastermind, which is our incubator, which they're getting their social media posts, for example, created by our team and then delivered to them. And then I'm still coaching and consulting them and mentoring them, right? So you see, like, there's a process to those different tiers. Okay, so that's part 2 of this, okay, is understanding what your revenue catalyst offer should be. And so we want this offer to be like an on-ramp to trusting you, okay? All right, part 3 of this is now you need to map out your offer, right? And there's 7 different things that you need to decide on in order to map out your offer so that it's an offer that people actually want. Number 1, you got to know who this is for. Okay. It can't be for everyone. Is this for specifically for somebody who is a cold lead? Is this for somebody who is a past client, maybe, right? So be really specific as to who this is for. Typically, our vault program is not for a cold lead. It's for somebody who has come in through maybe one of my freebies, right? And now they're interested in more. I gave them the video GPT prompt and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to work even more closely with Gina, but I don't have the budget to invest somewhere between $750 a month to $500 a month for society, depending on when you come in, or $2,000 a month inside of incubator, or $4,500 a month as an agency client, right? So they're starting to get to know me through that video GPT prompt. And then at that time, they're ready to jump into the vault. Now, I will say that I do get people that jump into a higher level program with me from my freebie. We've got a whole process of, when somebody comes in from a freebie, it's connecting with them, walking them through our entire like social selling system, but it's really uncovering their needs to see where they're at. If somebody comes to us from our video GPT, for example, and I start to have a back and forth banter with them inside of DMs, and they're telling me that, they've got a team of 10 people and they just don't have a marketing department, I'm not going to offer them our Kickstarter Vault program, right? I'm going to be talking to them about our done for you agency services. So know that too, but you definitely need to know exactly who your mini catalyst offer is for, right? So know who your avatar is. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2 is, what is the promise that your offer is making them? Now, here's the thing. A promise is not a guarantee because unfortunately, it's out of your control if your promise actually comes into fruition, if they don't do the work, right? But you want to be clear as to what is the transformation or the win that they can walk away with. And then what makes this different from one of your freebies or a low ticket offer, okay? So here's an example. You could build, for example, a one-time session for like $97. That could be your mini catalyst offer that helps people do something in under 90 minutes. Okay. They take that 90-minute session with you. It's $97, but there's going to be something else after that. So for example, for us, the deliverables, how I'm delivering this experience to you all is that you get an onboarding kickoff call with me. You also get inside of a private Facebook group where you get 24/7 support and feedback from us, right? You also get an online portal full of resources and templates and recorded trainings, things like that. But the main thing is that you get live support from us, both on a live Zoom call and also inside of a group. So that's how our Catalyst revenue offer is bundled, right? So how are you going to be delivering this? And then what is the format? Okay, that's number 4. What's the format? Choose what's going to fit best for you and your audience, not just your audience. All right. So for me, what works the best is live support. And that's why I offer live support. And that's why I believe in live support. And honestly, I think it works best for my audience too. So you could essentially create, for example, a $47 private audio series and sell that out to a certain amount of people. And then maybe have like a small group, like a pop-up group where you're giving support to those people as they're going through that private audio series. Okay, that could be an offer, right? So that's another option. Number 5 is you want to think about what is the price point. Okay, so this needs to feel like a no-brainer, but it still positions you as premium. Like our Vault program, it is a no-brainer to come into a Kickstarter mastermind program for only $6.50 a day with no contract, no commitment, and still get live support from a team of experts, that is huge. I see people charging this for our online portal, charging much more for that with no live support and just recorded trainings and resources and scripts and templates and stuff like that, but with no support. You want to make it a no-brainer, right? And it's not about being cheap, because you don't want to be cheap, but you want to be accessible without feeling disposable. Okay. So this is where your voice, your brand, your frameworks are really going to matter. And we can help you pull all of this out. Like if you come and work with us on any level, whether it's the vault or any of our other programs, we can help you pull this out inside one of our support sessions, because it's really important that you don't want to not be yourself. You want it to be part of your brand. You want it to be part of your voice, part of how you like to teach your own experience and your own journey that works, with other people to help them with the same transformation. And then the seventh part to this is that it needs to have an upsell path, right? What is the next step? It shouldn't just stop there. All right. When it comes to this mini catalyst offer. Okay. So part 4 to this training is this is really hard to do on your own because you need that outside perspective. Okay. I didn't do this on my own. I've had my own business coaches, my own marketing coaches, because when you are too close to your own genius, you're going to miss things that other people may not see, right? You may think that you know what your audience needs, but often we're packaging or saying things like either too much or too little, because again, we're too close to our own genius, to our own transformation that we create. So know that it's really helpful when you can have some sort of support. If you're interested in that, come inside of the vault and we will help you with that. Okay. The last thing I want to mention is that, again, if you feel like, I need help with this, or maybe you have an offer that's just not selling, we need to work on your messaging. We need to look deeper into like, what are you being inconsistent about that's causing it not to sell? A lot of times your messaging around your offer, it's not the offer itself. It's just the way that you are articulating that offer, the way that you're communicating it to your audience. It may not be clear to them, right? I want to give you really quick some ideas of how you can use a revenue catalyst offer if you are in direct sales. So whether you sell physical products on your own, it's your own product that you own, or you represent a direct selling company and you're selling physical products, I want to give you some ideas of how you can actually increase your sales with building an offer around those physical products that you sell. Okay, so one idea is doing a paid product challenge. So you could do, for example, let's say that you sell skincare through a direct sales company. Okay. You could create your very own like $27 5-day challenge, for example, that includes maybe it's like a few product samples, a guide, and a private community where they're going to get support throughout those 5 days. And then the bonus to this is that you upsell them into maybe it's a recurring membership through your company to get products every 90 days or 45 days, however that works. Maybe it's an upsell into a full regimen, like skincare regimen package, right? What this does is it becomes a very low risk for your buyer if they want to maybe try the skincare first, rather than saying no right off the bat to spending, $100 on a moisturizer or whatever your price point is. But if you do some sort of like 5-day glow challenge is maybe what I would call it, and you're giving them samples plus a guide plus full-on support, they may be open to that $27 entry fee for this type of experience. Okay. Another one. So for those of you that sell like supplements, you could do like a hormone reset in 7 days live workshop. And maybe it's $47 that you charge for this. And you're teaching 3 foundational lifestyle shifts and include a little sample kit if you can, or a discount code for coming into this workshop. And then you upsell them into your entire full program or your auto ship bundle, if that's what you have, right? So what you're doing is you're educating them while you're selling. You are positioning yourself as a guide, not just as a direct seller, and you're making it easy for someone to try it before they fully commit into, whatever full program you have. Okay. I'm going to give you a third example. If you are selling physical product, let's say you do skincare. I'm going to go back to skincare because I love skincare. Let's say you do skincare. You could sell a skin clarity consult. How fun is that? Okay. So maybe for like $25, you do a short, very short 15-minute one-on-one skin consult. Okay. It includes maybe a little trial pack of a moisturizer, serum, whatever else. And then your offer is going to upsell them into a product bundle. Okay. So why this would work is that it feels very personalized and more like a premium, exclusive type of VIP offer. When you're on that 15-minute call with them or in person, you're going to shorten the trust gap, right? Because you're giving them that personalized one-on-one attention. All right. Makes sense? So it makes it a lot easier when you're ready to upsell them into something. And if you currently have a low ticket or a catalyst revenue offer and you feel like it's not working for you, it's not selling, let us know. I'd love to know. And I'll send you a DM and kind of pick your brain. And I'm happy to share some tips on that. Okay. All right. So I will see you guys next. And I hope you have a great rest of your week and it's chill and relaxed and full of pura vida, as my Costa Rican friends would say. All right, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.